from Josh Levine Speaks, and today I'm going to speak to you about one of those collectibles that people find odd who aren't in the know. And it's pens. Like this one right here. It really shocks people. Pens. Anyway, seriously, when it comes to selling real vintage and luxury pens online, it can become quite enlightening to how crazy this subculture can be.
Yes, I like pens a lot.
People will pay top dollar for a writing instrument covered in 18 karat gold, diamonds, rubies, and other rare gems, and you're probably wondering why they do that to a pen, but they do. And I'm talking $40,000 plus, and there are stores out there in the world where you can find these and online. These luxurious pens are all over the place, and in fact, the Aurora Diamante fountain pen, considered by most to be the most expensive pen in the world, I believe sold for $1.4 million, all encrusted in about 30,000 diamonds. There's only one of those in the world. By the way, I'd love to sell that because that'd be a heck of a commission. Cha-ching! Well, back to reality and some history. The pen will always have an important place in writing history. Edson Waterman gets credit really for taking the fountain pen to a new level when in 1888 he created the thin grooves in the nib. That's the little tippy thing on a fountain pen. His nib allowed air to circulate through the pen's reservoir, creating a steady flow of ink. Prior to this, it was really the classic dip pen. You know, we think of the feather dip, but that's really, you know, pre-MacBook Pro.
Coming at me with that old dip pen. I got the newest nib in the business.
In the 1920s, pen manufacturers started to develop plastic pens like we have here. And in the 1940s, the ballpoint were all the rage, really replacing the fountain pen in its prominence. Recently, I've been seeing high-end pens coming through local auction houses, most likely because the baby boomers and older collectors are downsizing or liquidating their estate. Certain brands always seem to do well, such as Waterman, Parker, Wall Eversharp, and Mont Blanc. You might have heard of some of these. At a recent sale, we sold a Parker fountain pen for $700 before buyer's premium, and I actually think the seller got a fair price, but so did the buyer, because it was one of those pens that was just, you know, they're collectible and getting even more so every day. Auction firm I used to work for sold a 3-piece Waterman 100-year pen and pencil set for about $1,000. Really wanted to discuss pens was it's one of the things I find at estates that are often thrown away. Let me give you a little story. We just had an estate where we pulled out about 20 pens from a garbage can. The executors of the estate were cleaning up, preparing for the arrival of our appraisers and getting rid of the crap. The pens that were in the garbage can brought about $5,000, and that's a lot more than the beautiful desk they were in. And the people were really shocked as we were going through the garbage and saying, "We hope you didn't throw any more pens away." Anyway, as for me, I am not a collector of anything really, but I appreciate the craftsmanship behind a pen and the mechanicalness of it. I don't, you know, need the case to be jewel encrusted, but I do want the ink to flow easily on paper. You know, when you write with one of these mechanical marbles, it makes a strong statement and gives you like a sense of power. It must be the whole mightier than the sword thing, and I guess, you know, if you're closing a big deal, you know, signing a mortgage or signing some checks, having a quality pen is always somehow an elevating experience. This pen right here, which is probably free, probably a klepto kind of thing, works like $1 million, so I love this pen, and anytime it moves I panic where it is because it flows really well, and again, it's probably a $2 pen, but you can't beat it. And by the way, you know, always check out the estate sales and auctions and look for these pens and mechanical pencils, because a lot of value is missed there. You know what I mean? Once again, I am Josh from Josh Levine Speaks. My channel is now 2 months old, and I really appreciate all the love and support, or subscribing as we call it on YouTube. You are the best. Please share other subjects and tips you'd like to learn about, and please share my videos and channel with anyone you know that might like this sort of thing. Take care. I promise to be as cheesy as always. Josh from Josh Levine Speaks.